It's a really special day for me personally because a friend, mentor, a guru turns another year younger. It's impossible to use the word older in the same breath as this excellent human being. India's
Absolutely.
leading holistic health guru and corporate life coach, Mickey Mehta. Very, very, very happy birthday to you, my dear, dear friend. 58 years over, 59th setting in.
Right?
Let me start with saying that, you're such an upright, honest man, but this is a lie. This is unbelievable. This is that one occasion when I have to doubt your integrity. No, I'm just joking. I mean, who can look at you and say, you're entering your 59th year and 58 is over. So really, hats off. This elixir of youth that you drink from. What is it, my friend?
This is matcha tea, by the way. It's matcha tea. I love matcha tea. It's amazing.
I know that, like very much like what Ustad Zakir Hussain told me once. He said,
Yeah.
even if he feels as though he's the king of the world when he's on the stage playing the tabla, when he's off it, the Hindustani classical tradition makes sure that he touches people's feet, and the Guru Shishya Parampara and the Guru Disciple Parampara is something that he believes in.
Absolutely.
Even if they are your mentors or even if they are your contemporaries, let's start by doffing your hat to them. Who are people who you think should be recognized today when we complete 50 years of yoga and exercising for Mickey Mehta and 58 years of your life?
So, with the 59th birthday setting in on 29th August, let me tell you, Hrishi K, my journey has been of very informal learning, like the relationship of Ekalavya and Dronacharya. The Dronacharya, I mean many Dronacharyas in this case, and I would give the first credit to BK Iyengar Sahab, because during my time he was at its peak, internationally known. And then of course, one must give credit to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji, Sadhguru ji, and Baba Ramdev, who literally took yoga to the world. And I can't, miss out on Ma Hansaji of the Yoga Institute. That's the oldest yoga institute of the world, 100 years old. So these gurus, and of course Maharishi Mahesh Yogi for Ayurveda and wisdom, Osho, and above all, my favorite, Deepak Chopra. So how could I miss them? And very important, Rishike, every day I feel older than yesterday but younger than tomorrow.
Very well said.
So it is said that we really don't grow old. We never grow old. When we stop growing, we become old. Let's not stop growing. You also looking so young, Rishikesh. You don't look your age.
That's spending more time with family. That's what it does to you.
I thought you would say more influence of Mickey Mehta.
That is a perennial influence.
And
That's
that's
like
a
the
perennial. Yeah,
water of
yeah.
the Ganges.
That's so sweet.
It's remarkable, but 50 years of yoga and exercising, highlights of these 50 years. I mean, you could write reams of newsprint on this, but what do you think were turning points of your life? Like, I remember once you told me there was a turning point when you were in the profession of security or providing security.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There was one where you were in the hotel business. Let's
Yeah.
add to that. What are other landmark points in your
Let,
life and
let me
career?
give you some very good landmark points. When I was eight and I wanted to have a very good body, so naturally inclined, I told my mom that, so she said, why don't you go to the YMCA? We used to live at Playhouse, Falkland Road, the corner of Grant Road. There was a small Parsi community nestled there. So I went to the YMCA of Leamington Road and I asked them, I want to work out. And they said, look, buddy, you are too young to work out and one doesn't lift a lot of weight at 8. But if you want to, you can go home, buy some equipment and do it there. So dejected, also disappointed, but I said, okay, I'll do it at home. I came home. Then I told mom that I want to, make a body and I want to make a good body and I want to buy some equipment. So mom said that, Mickey, we can ill afford it currently. But I'll give you an idea. Why don't you use your mind? Why don't you use your body to exercise? So, it beat me and I was thinking all night and the next morning I was turning 9. It was the 29th August and I said, okay, let me give it a try. So I locked myself up in the dining room of my big, huge house, and I took a kettle of water with ice and rose sharbat with lemon juice inside to sip it. And I just started stretching, push ups. So, whatever I would remember my cousins do, or having flashes of people do in gyms whenever I was used to go and peep, you know. So, there was a gym at Lal Bagh. We used to always pass through the bus, and I used to see, even though there were, the barricades or the partitions, we used to see those heavy guys, And then I used to go to Behramji Jijibai school, and I used to see Talwalkar gym there, and people used to lift heavy weights. So nevertheless, so I did my push-ups. Then I said, okay, let me emulate the bicep curl without the bicep curl. So I started squeezing my arms, squeezing my arms. I emulated and did all the movements without actual weights. I sweated, and I kept sipping my Calvert's rose syrup with lemon juice. It's not available anymore, I guess. And so that was my day one, and today is 50 years down the line. That, and then of course, I did that Nag Bhujangasana position. Then I used to see my sister, she used to study in JB Petit, that she used to touch her toes to her head. So I couldn't do that, so at least I tried the Dhanurasana. Then I would try, then I tried the Chakrasana. I could hardly manage. And there were so many things I could hardly manage my handstand. But I started, and it's 50 years today.
Beautiful. And also an important turning point in your 50th year of yoga and exercise is the fact that you've taken to OTT platforms so beautifully.
Yeah.
There's Mickey Mehta on the landing page of Disney Hotstar, and of course your Tata Sky. That must give you a lot of fulfillment because you're
Airtel
reaching an
also.
entirely new, different audience here, Mickey. It's not just traditional radio and television audience,
Yeah.
but you're reaching OTT millennials.
Yeah. So thankfully, I think the turning point was that I started writing for Midday. So around in the year 85, halfway back, I would say, I wrote to Midday, and I remember the name of the journalist, Krishna Warrior. I remember the name of the journalist. I wrote to him, and I said, look, I can do some articles on exercise. He said, we'd be happy. So, and then I started writing. So that was one turning point. The second, then of course more articles happened, and of course news happened. The second turning point was learn swimming in 24 hours.
Yeah.
When I was in Oman, I cracked that. I cracked that code. Where people would go to the pool for a month, and I said, why would somebody go to the pool for 1 month to learn swimming? So in Arab countries, we had Thursday, Fridays holidays. So when the children or the parents used to come to learn swimming, I would teach them in 3, 4, 5 hours in one day. And sometimes a little follow-up on the next day, but anyway it would be 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it was very clear in my mind that I'll one day launch this program. And let me tell you, exactly 9 years later, I launched a program in Sea Princess. Exactly 9 years later, I was processing that program in my mind. And that was one of the other turning points. The other turning point was when I wrote a letter to Mr. Pradeep Gua asking him, can I train the Miss Indias? And he wrote back to me, why not? He invited me. And there, Manpreet Brar was sitting. She had just won her Miss India, and she was going for a Miss Universe. And I got to train her. And she was the first runner-up. And then the rest was history, like the Gul Panags of the world, and Priyanka Chopras of the world, and the Lara Dattas, and the Yukta Mukhi. And then Bollywood happened. So Preeti Zinta happened, and Amir Khan happened, and very many didn't happen also, because they would call. I was to train the team of Mohabbatein. But somehow,
Wow.
we didn't. I met Yash Chopra ji, I met Aditya Chopra ji. It was his maiden venture. Manish Malhotra took me there. They wanted very much me to train, but somehow we didn't agree on terms. And thereafter, I've trained the biggest boys of India Inc. Then Mumbai Police, then Maharashtra, then Army, Navy, Air Force, and then I became the first TV presenter of fitness wellness in India. I became the first columnist of fitness wellness in India. I became the first, I would say, radio presenter of fitness wellness in
Definitely.
India. And of course, those days, do you remember? There was FM was launched, and there was something called Radio Star. The current program guys were running
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Anil Singh, Vivek Singh. And yeah, so Radio Midday, there was Radio Midday and Times FM and everything. And thankfully, with you and Radio One, we've been rocking for almost 8-9 years now,
More,
approximately.
more. Yeah.
More than that. And we've done Hindi and English.
Yeah.
And you brought out the best versatility in me. Of course, then corporate workshops happened and OTT platform happened. So apart from Tata Sky, apart from uh, Airtel DTH, and apart from Hotstar, which is the biggest, people tell me that my reach has crossed 100 million.
Wow.
And in this lockdown, I did some 70 plus webinars and wrote very many. So the two books which I have written also, took me higher on pedestal. One is the Shunyam Quotient, and one is Lose Weight, Gain Shape, both with international publishing houses. One with Random House Penguin, the other one with Amazon Westland. My three other books. One is Focus to Lotus. It is lying on the desk of HarperCollins. One is Curd Karma, the karma of yogurt. And the other one is Harlem to Harvard. And that was my topic when I spoke at Harvard. I was invited there in 2017. And then, of course, the IITs happened, the IIMs happened, and the top honchos and the top corporate houses. And I'm extremely grateful to the divine. And today, when I see the new breed, I see, I call Sarvesh Shashi. I call him Infant Jesus. Such a wonderful, sweet kid. And so sincere in his work. Then I see Malaika Arora Khan. I mean, so sincere in her endeavor. Then I see Sunaina Rekhi. I see Natasha. I mean, Yasmin Karachiwala. And of course, our Nawaz Singhania. I mean, they've been around also. I mean, of course, we must thank the veteran Mr. Madhukar Talwalkar. He is the octogenarian today. Can't miss thanking him. My biggest, Kaizat Kapadia. I mean, the biggest name in bodybuilding and fitness and institute running. So these names come to my mind, and they're such wonderful people. And each one of us contribute to the wellness of this universe.
Would you say the 360-degree wellness temples, your chain of wellness temples would also be a turning point because you actually built that brick and mortar business? It doesn't make, I know in terms of a pandemic, one can't talk about on ground that much.
No,
I'm
no,
sure it'll get
not at all.
kick-started
Not
very soon. But, the fact
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
built those chains, you did all the hard work to build those brick and mortar wellness temples.
Yeah, so I must thank Sunita Kapoor and Sunita Kapoor's cousin, Anu Shivdasani. And so they gave me the first opportunity to open a gym because they ran a gym called Idea. And since I dabbled into very many other businesses and they saw me, growing, so they said, Mickey, would you be interested? And I said, if the flow comes to me, Muhammad has to answer. Christ has to answer. Shiva has to take cognizance. So yes, I responded because we always need to respond to life, not react to. If things come your way, be open. Say why not instead of saying why, and you will always grow. So either you will succeed and grow, or if you fail, you learn and grow. Either ways.
Mickey, it's also another auspicious occasion that coinciding with you completing 50 years of yoga and exercising and your 59th birthday. You turn 59 today. It's also exactly 1 year of the Fit India movement, which the Honorable Prime Minister and the Sports Authority of India and our dynamic sports minister Kiran Rijiju launched
Absolutely.
with much fanfare. How much progress do you think we've made as a nation in the Fit India movement, and what have you been up to as regards the Fit India movement over the last 1 year?
I've done a couple of things for them, and there are many things in the pipeline in the forthcoming year. Also, one of the very important players in wellness is Goki Vishal Gondal, we are collaborating to do things for India which are non-commercial. So why naming Vishal Gondal's Goki, because there are many things we want to do non-commercial to spread the message of fitness and to make India disease-free, India wealthy, healthy. Why wealthy? Because a healthy person is wealthy. And a healthy person can become a leader and become wealthy, both ways. And so, you can't take away from these. And then we should thank people like Akshay Kumar, we should thank people like Hrithik Roshan, like Tiger Shroff, John Abraham, Salman Khan, earlier days Dharmendra.
And
They
now
were the
Vidyut, yeah.
Vidyut Jamba. Oh my God. And some amazing fitness levels. Some great fitness levels, I'm just stunned that how do they do it? And yes, they intimidated me, many of them, and I'm in awe of them. And well, that's the way life goes. You devote yourself to fitness, and it becomes primary to life. It becomes the fundamental focus of life, and that's the way it is. So
Mickey, you've already told us about your plans as far as writing more books is concerned. Yeah, they're lying at publishers' tables, so we know your plans on that front. The OTT front is going fine. But what is your message to everybody who's listening or watching this? Do you have a tagline for the next year which ties in seamlessly with the Fit India movement and your 59th year, as well as your you entering your 51st year of yoga and exercise? What is your vision for this particular year? It's been a tough year in a lot of ways, Mickey.
very tough here, but I mean, champions are born out of challenges. Tough times certainly don't last, but tough people do.
Right.
They outlast, they outlast, and they outclass. So yes, I mean, as the going gets tough, the tough gets going. That song, very famous song. So to make wellness the religion number one worldwide, to get 7 billion hearts beat for wellness, to have 7 billion people breathe and throb with wellness is my goal. To create a wellness revolution for evolution of mankind, for human evolution. Weight loss is too lower a denomination that we should be talking about. We human beings have risen so high in consciousness. We are the antecedents. We are the lineage of Rishi Munis, especially in India. The Krishnas, the Mahadevs, the Mahaviras, the Rama, the Arjunas, and Buddhas. We should be enlightened, we should be aware, we shouldn't be scared. And we should be living to perpetuity, to eternity, with health and healing. And have embrace only Ichha Mrityu or Ichha Jivan. Why die to disease, disorder, decay? And that should not be a part of our destiny at all. We can co-create a destiny of wellness. We can write our own destiny of wellness. We can co-create and we can be the choreographers of our change. If change is constant, let's do it. Only human beings have the potential of rising higher than gods and falling below animals. So let's keep rising, let's keep evolving to get energized, maximized, optimized, naturalized, eternalized, internalized, evolutionized, revolutionized, specialized, initialized, revitalized, regularized, all negativity neutralized to get Mickey-mized.
Lovely. I've really seen that beautiful slogan evolve over the last decade or so that we've been on the air, and you still infuse it with such beautiful energy. Mickey, very very happy birthday to you. Keep blessing us. Keep shining the light and keep giving us
Absolutely.
joy with your words and your presence. Thank you very very much. Cheers.
Love you. Thank you, Hrishi K. Thank you so much, Radio 1. Thank you so much. Very grateful. Thank you.